Okay everybody, we have the nutrition talk now. Maybe I should come up with a catchier name for that, because that's not very cool sounding. But anyways, we're going over 3 common mistakes that everyone makes when dieting.
I eat success for breakfast with skim milk.
Number 1. Some people do this, some people don't do this. It's counting carbs total in a food or counting the active carbs, which basically is subtracting the fiber out of it, because people claim that it doesn't count, but a calorie is a calorie. So you have to count everything, and that can throw you way off depending on what you're eating. So for example, oatmeal. That's a good one. Brown sugar oatmeal, so you have 34 grams of total carbs, 10 grams of dietary fiber, 7 grams of sugar. So what some people do is they take that fiber because they count it as inactive because it takes longer to get into your system, and some people say that there's no nutritional value to them. It's just something to fill your stomach, but if it says it's a carb, then it has calories, otherwise it wouldn't be classified as a carb. So some people will subtract those 10 calories, leaving them at 24. So if they had 2 of those, they would be off by 40 calories per packet. So if you're trying to lose weight, 40 calories shouldn't make the hugest difference, because you need to still be in a deficit far enough, not just 1 calorie, to actually lose weight. But if you do that multiple times a day, that can add up really quick, and you can be eating 100 or more, up to 200 grams of carbs a day that you're not accounting for. So that is mistake number 1. Okay, mistake number 2 pertains to eating out. So most people automatically assume that the salad is the healthy option, and most salads, especially from restaurants, will probably have more calories than a burger, just because they drown it in dressing. Dressing is a very, depending on the kind of course, but most dressings, in the most common salads, are chicken Caesar, because, oh, chicken and lettuce, it's healthy, right? Well, it depends on the dressing, and I'm sure a lot of people know this, but some people don't. So, with that being the case, I have some Lighthouse Parmesan dressing here, and the macros on it: 30 milliliters, which is also 1 milliliter equals 1 gram. You're at 10 grams of fat, 3 carbs, and 1 protein. That is 1 serving of that dressing. So that's 1 serving, so that's not very much. So imagine that on, think about how big the salads are at restaurants, and you can only have that much dressing. Think about how much dressing is sitting on the lettuce when you're eating it from those restaurants, and then compare it to that, and you would basically have pretty dry lettuce compared to the other stuff that's pretty much drenched. So just in general, salad isn't necessarily the best option when you eat out, because again, with most things when you eat out, you don't really know what is in it or how much fat it is. Or with, in another example, if you got a burger, is that 80-20 beef? Is it 70-30? Is it 50-50? Some places do 60-40 beef. So unless they post online their nutrition facts, I would probably stay away from it. And even with the nutrition facts, depending on what's on it, you still might want to stay away from it as well, or take things off. So let's say you got a burger and you could totally fit it into your macros for the day, but it has mayo on it. I would take the mayo off, because then if they don't put the precise amount of mayo on there, then you're gonna end up with more fat than you anticipated. So especially when dieting down, trying to lose weight, if you go, okay, I'm gonna eat this burger, and you have them take the mayonnaise off, but the mayonnaise calculated on the nutrition facts for that restaurant include the mayo, then yes, you will end up lower on fat, but that's just gonna put you further into a deficit, which is what you want anyway, so it's not the end of the world, and you still get to have that burger, so it's worth giving up that possibly 10 grams of fat or more. So number 2, don't assume the salad is the healthy choice. Okay, mistake number 3. So the next most common one, and this is gonna probably be a no-brainer for some people or eye-opening for other people. So keep an open mind if you're one of the people that don't do this, but believe it or not, people don't weigh their food. So what I do is I measure everything in the grams portion that is attached to the nutrition facts label, or it could be, depending if it's a liquid, it could be milliliters or something like that. But I measure there because that's more accurate than ounces. And since the macros are, all macros are in grams, the nutrition facts, the ones you're calculating, putting in your body, since all of it's in grams, I just keep it as one rather than change it. So I keep it on the number that's in parentheses right next to the serving size amount. So the error of not measuring your food. If you're not measuring your food, then unless you're eating things like serving size 1 bag, well then it's probably close, but it can be off by 10%. Either way, you could be eating less, which again, it helps you get further into the deficit, but at the same time, if you can eat more and still lose weight, you'd want to eat as much as possible, because dieting sucks. It takes a lot out of you, and it sucks to feel hungry. So you want to avoid that. Or the opposite way, it has 10% more, so now you're even further into getting closer to a maintenance rather than a deficit. So you don't want to be inching towards that, otherwise you won't lose, and that's when the mind games start to happen, and you start to, you know, and I've done it too, you start to break down, you're like, why am I doing this? Is it even worth it? All that stuff. So you want to weigh your food, and Smudge agrees. So sticking with the dressing, just because I had it handy, and it's actually expired, so I kind of need to get rid of it anyway. I'm going to show you 2 plates here, and I measured both of them, so I know. But just look at the 2 plates and see if you can see a difference. Okay, so you have this plate here and this plate here. Both are salad dressing. Both look fairly similar. This doesn't look like it has that much more over here. This one is double. This is 2 servings. This is 1 serving. So if you poured this out and tried to eyeball it because you did it one time, you could be way off. You would have an extra 100 calories over here compared to over here. That's the 3rd mistake. Always measure your food. So that's gonna do it for this one. Thanks for watching. Smudge appreciates it. And comment down below what you want me to talk about next. I'm open to suggestions. I will talk about whatever you guys want. With flexible dieting, I can go back into like how to set it up. Whatever you guys want, I will do, because I'm here to help you guys. So, that being said, comment, like, and subscribe so you don't miss anything, especially the foods. And thanks for watching.